Hey guys, brand new. I can't even fake the energy. I'm so exhausted right now.
Hey guys.
I'm burning at both ends, guys. We're on tour right now. Birdie Boy World Tour this week. New Orleans, Huntsville, and Montgomery, Alabama. 2 shows in Huntsville on Saturday. 1 show in Montgomery, and Thursday night in New Orleans. I have announced the Call In Sick to Work show.
Oh boy.
Call In Sick to Work. For those of you who don't know, Call In Sick to Work was one of my early brainchilds when I first started getting creative in this business. And it was a show I derived out of DC with my friend Elliot in the morning. And the idea was I was drinking on radio and then I was going straight back to my hotel room and doing nothing. I said, what if we drank on radio and went right to the club and did a show in the morning? And they have been hugely successful. I don't think I've ever done one that hasn't sold out.
No.
And I have just released tickets. I am not certain that there are still tickets available. Here's the deal. I released them on my phone number first, 323-208-0844. That was the first place I released them. Then I released them on Instagram because that's where I feel like most people find me. And then I released them on Twitter. I don't know if there's still tickets. We are going to be adding a live podcast event to this. I am not announcing who's going to be on the show simply because I don't want to use any of my friends' names to sell tickets.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want them to feel like I'm leveraging them to put on the show. But suffice to say, my friends will be on the show. The live podcasts are going to be fucking phenomenal. And I can say this, but Bill Burr and I are doing a live podcast together.
Oh, awesome.
For the first time ever, we will be doing a live podcast in the OR at the Comedy Store St. Patty's Day. I'm certain I will be drunk. Bill will be sober. And I'm certain it'll be an hour of Bill busting my balls, and it'll be fucking hilarious. So, but it's 15 comics, all the greatest comics in the world, in my opinion. It was people I wanted to work with, and I just reached out, and I don't think, other than like some people who are I think David Spade had a TV show commitment, and he was like, I wish I'd come. We start shooting it. We get to the office at 9, though I can't make it. But other than that, it's everyone I'd want to be with.
Well, why didn't he call in sick to work?
No shit. I should tell him, David, it's calling sick. Well, I think because the show doesn't go on without him. But yeah, so calling sick to work, go to my Instagram, go to my Twitter, or go to the Comedy Store and buy your tickets. It is next Tuesday, St. Patty's Day, the same day my special, Hey Big Boy, drops on Netflix. I am super proud of this special. I hope you enjoy this special. The reason I'm tired is I'm doing everything in my power to promote this special. And so I am heading off to Dynasty Typewriter to do a live dollop right now. And yeah, that's it. Check out my wife's body if you can. It looks phenomenal.
That's really nice. Thanks, babe.
Of course, you'll hear me trash her and her body on Tom Segura's Your Mom's House. Oh, yeah.
You trashed my body?
No, but we have notes. No, we don't. I don't trash your body.
You have notes on my body?
No, we have notes on your.
What are the notes on my body?
But there's no notes on your body. You look fucking amazing. She really does look amazing. She's down like 13, 14 pounds
13
now.
pounds.
13 pounds. I'm up 10. That's okay.
You found 10 of my 13.
So,
you
check out her.
Trash me on your mom's house?
We don't trash you. We don't trash you, but it's a fucking good episode. That was a really fun episode of Your Mom's House.
It was?
I love doing that show. It's so funny. You forget how long you know these people in this business. You feel like you forget.
We've been friends with them a long time.
Yeah.
Long time. I mean, like 13 years. Like
more than that.
No,
I've known Tom
more than
13 years.
You've known Tom more than, but we 4 have been friends. Isla was probably a year and a half old, maybe. So 12 years, something like that. Jeez.
Today's episode is with one of the OGs in the game.
Oh yeah?
Marc Maron is podcast royalty.
Yeah.
He started his podcast, WTF. When did he start that? I want to say probably we talk about that a little bit. We talk about the early episodes. Obviously I'm a fan of his podcast. I've been a fan of his podcast. Him and Joe's podcast are like my 2 go-tos.
Mm-hmm.
And they're very different podcasts, but they're very both equally awesome podcasts. It's interesting. Mark said something on this podcast that's kind of changed the way I looked at things a little bit. I'm gonna misquote it. You should just hear him say it. But it's about the difference that people have when they go to a show of mine versus a show of his. and the way people leave a show is. I watched Mark's special, and it's not heavy. It's just Mark. It's like I watched the special. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Mark's special is fucking awesome. But here's what's crazy. Of course it is. He is one of the best writers in the game.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. He's one of the best thinkers in the game. And he's one of the best orators in the game. Like the way he handles a stage, the way he takes apart a special is so different than how I do it that I was almost glad. I was really relieved I hadn't seen his special before I did mine, because I'd be second guessing everything I did in mine.
Oh, yeah?
He is so fucking talented at stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
That you go, thank God a guy like this. Thank God we have a guy like this.
Yeah.
He is, and I don't think maybe he said this or he didn't, but he is the extension of where Kinison and Hicks would have gone.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, him and Stanhope, guys like that are so fucking important. Look, I'm not downplaying guys like me who rip their shirts off and tell fun party stories and shit on their family, and it's not. I don't try to get maybe as heavy as Mark or Stanhope. We all serve a different purpose.
Yeah, it's like Stephen King and David Sedaris.
Yeah,
they're both really good writers, but they serve a different purpose.
His special is on the front page of Netflix right now. Do you know what that means, everybody? It means a lot of people are fucking watching it.
That's great.
If it's not on the front page, it's disappearing. End Times Fun. Marc Maron, streaming right now on Netflix. If you haven't heard of WTF, I don't know. You maybe have been doing this podcast thing wrong. WTF is one of the best podcasts out there. His guests have been amazing. We talk a little bit about how he prepares for an interview, how he goes about an interview. We talk a lot about everything. It's a great podcast. I think one of the ones where you walk out and Halston's like, that was a fucking good podcast. You're going to love the podcast. You're going to absolutely love his special, End Times Fun. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, he's also got a show called Glow, which is one of the biggest shows on fucking Netflix also. So, by the way, he's doing very well.
He's doing okay.
He's killing it right now.
He's doing all right. I mean, it's all right.
It's interesting because I met him probably 20 years ago. And the guy he was 20 years ago is still the guy he is today, but with different agendas. I love this Mark. This Mark is awesome. By the way, the old Mark was great too. The middle Mark was even better. 3/4 Mark? I didn't think it would get better. Today's Mark is a pretty fucking phenomenal Mark. I'm really happy to call him my friend.
That's nice to say.
I really am, because he says smart things and you hear smart things and he makes you think.
Yeah, that's great.
And you're going to love this special, End Times Fun, streaming right now on Netflix. Go in, check it out, tell a friend about it, share it with a friend, invite friends over, open a bottle of wine, light a pipe. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, this week's Bertcast, my friend, Marc Maron. He's the man, the myth, the legend. You and Rogan are the last ones to do cans.
I mean, it's not something that gets outdated.
But what
are we doing it?
Yeah, we're on. Do you do it so you know? Does it make you listen better?
Yeah, I mean, it makes me calibrate my voice better, really? And also like it helps me kind of like, especially when I'm talking on my own. Mm-hmm. It kind of
when you do it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when I do the opening or whenever I'm in there by myself, if I have the cans on, it's like, it's a self-feeding loop, and I can kind of keep my continuity better, and it seems like I'm in the machine. But I like when people wear cans, because you'd be amazed at how many fucking people don't know how to calibrate their voices properly for a microphone. So I try to encourage people to wear the. Was he too loud?
No.
Oh, he's too soft?
Between Joey and Ralphie, I did a podcast one time where they both fell asleep during the podcast, and they would tell stories and then be like,
both on the same shit.
They were both. Yeah, they actually were.
Both
and
painkillers.
Yeah, and then they would just walk, like had the mic in their hands, and then they just not speak into it at all at certain points where I was like.
So I try to get people to calibrate. Look, my brother. What do you think of this new iPhone picture thing?
That's your brother?
Yeah. But I didn't make it do that. It's like now, it'll update the picture normally, like natural, like they'll say you want to update the picture. Yeah. And then when the phone rings, all of a sudden it's got a big old mug in my.
And then it'll change and say, hey, the number you have for Christina Pajinski.
Right, that.
And I go, no, that's not what I call her. And now they change it to Christina Segura, which I go, what, is that his sister?
No.
Like, it doesn't even sound like the right fucking person.
So, man, I can't believe you're in the same house. You're fucking huge.
Man, I'm saving money.
I'm saving for what?
Don't you start. How long did it take you to buy your fucking house? Don't you fucking start.
You're like, got to be a billionaire by now. Everywhere I go, like, Bert just sold out for a month. What happened? What is he, Ali Wong?
No, I'm first of all, those stories always come back secondhand, bigger than they ever were. It's like fishing tales. And secondly, I am not, I'm 47 years old. I am not thinking that I'm going to be here forever. And I'm like, fucking
no, you got to get it.
Ali Wong said that to me. She goes, it's not going away.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I don't know about that. But I mean,
yeah.
You got to make the money when you can make it. But at some point, I would think that you could probably, this house is all right.
We just bought a new house.
Oh.
But we haven't moved in. We're redoing it. And so.
Where's that at? You don't have to say.
By the way, I almost fucking said, the reason we had to buy a new house is because I basically told everyone where I live.
Yeah.
And so.
People come by.
Oh, yeah. Knock on the front door. Hey, so you're Isla, huh? She's like, Dad. It gets crazy when like the FedEx guy will come and be like, oh, shit, you live here? And you're like,
oh, no, now you know. Well, fortunately, my fans are kind of like, nervous, sensitive, creative, aggravated weirdos. Your fans are like, we got beer.
Shit. Dude, knock on the door. He'll let us in.
He'll let us in. Dude, he'll party with us. What time is it?
My tour bus, they'll just knock on, go, dude, I want to come in and have a beer before the show. And you're like, hey, man, this is where I live. We had a girl sneak on the tour bus and drunk as shit try to hide. And we're like,
on the bus?
On the bus.
A stowaway?
Yeah.
A Kreischer stowaway? Where you're going to find her like a week later? What are you doing? How old are you? Where do your parents live?
Shit, I guess she's part of the team now.
You're with us now.
You're with us now.
Here's your new name.
I'm obsessed with the fucking cans idea now because I go, you're such a good interviewer. Is it because you listen to people?
Yeah. I'm very intent. Like if I get out of the group for a second, I hate myself.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm locked in. I got to stay locked in. And and sometimes text will come. I'll be like, oh goddamn. And then if I miss a beat, I'm like, where are we?
You're so good at that, at taking little things people say and breaking it off and making it into a bigger conversation.
Right. Well, that's what I'm looking for, so we can have the conversation. Do you know what I mean? Like, where's the conversation if you don't do that?
Yeah, but you
can't
also
just depend on everybody to.
Oh, I can.
No, I know you do, but
I just go like,
we know you.
Yeah, I go. Hey, I hope this work goes out well. I don't listen very well, and I'm not as intelligent. You and Rogan both are very intelligent people, so you will say things. You'll go, oh, it's like I read that book, and I go, oh, you're never getting that out of my podcast.
No, but I mean, I think I'm like, I try. Is that a real gun?
No, it's a pellet gun.
But no, I mean, not that I'm going to judge you, but I just try to figure out where we're going, because I don't know. I'm not looking for something specific when I'm talking to somebody.
Yeah.
Like today I talked to Mike Campbell. He's the guitar player from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, I'm a guitar player, so where am I going to go with that guy? I don't really know him. It's not like he's not like Keith Richards. We don't all know him for being a thing.
Yeah.
But he made some of the greatest music ever. Right?
Yeah.
So
you don't know how it feels. It's one of my favorite songs in the world.
So I just got into the guitar thing with him. So I don't know where that's going to go. And I'm hoping they'll pick it up and start talking and get into something interesting. Who else did I interview today? Byron Bowers.
Byron Bowers?
Yeah.
Dude, he is fucking, he's someone I discovered randomly at the store and was like, I liked his style.
Have you interviewed him?
No, I haven't.
Trippy, dude.
Yeah, dude had a really rough life.
I mean, it sounded rough, but he's also into this brain thing where he's like, his mind's kind of blown in a good way.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, like, he comes from what he comes from, and now he's got a certain kind of looking back understanding of his old man's crack addiction and his old man's mental illness, and he's done some hallucinogenics. So now he's got this understanding that's relatively new for him. So he kind of talks in this language of like, hey, it's all kind of, it all makes sense, man. Like,
which was like, by the way, see, this is what's wrong with my podcast, because then I say stuff like, which was unheard of when I was a kid. Black guys didn't do hallucinogenics. Like, no black guy ever did acid. No black guy ever did mushrooms.
He said that. He said,
oh, thank God. See, I just thought I was racist.
No. He said that black people don't know about LSD. He goes, but they're gonna. But No, I think that maybe in the 60s, obviously Hendrix, who was black, did his share, and certainly was a big advertiser of LSD.
Yeah.
He made it popular. So there's a precedent for black people doing acid. One of the most important black acid takers happened to be a genius guitar player, and he kind of invented tripping in a way.
Yeah.
He was part of the beginning of it. But I think, as a cultural thing that you don't hear about that much, about black acid.
Do you consider acid and mushrooms sober?
No, they're drugs.
Some people consider it sober.
Those people are like, I'm just going to do a tune-up. Like once or twice a year, just clean the pipes. I don't do that.
No?
I mean, I'd like to, but I don't know how much I really enjoyed it when I was younger. I don't know that I had a lot of successful acid or mushroom trips. There's only a couple that I had a good time on because I was young. I was in college, maybe after college, a little once or twice, but I was panicky and nervous. I never went in thinking like, here we go. I always went in thinking like, oh, fuck. So.
Thank you. I've never once taken drugs and been like, all right, bring it.
Yeah, here we go.
I've always been like, let's hope it doesn't hurt.
I'm going to be okay, right? Oh, no.
Hey, do we have an out for this? If this doesn't work well.
Yeah. You guys going to hang out, right?
We took acid once and my buddy goes, oh, shit, I just lost my wallet. And I was like, oh, fuck.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
Yeah. No, I had one or two great trips. I get the thing, I get the idea of it rejiggering your brain. I mean, I understand the logic of that. I don't think it's really new thinking. There's no new way to do it. And I know microdosing is popular, and that's probably works for some people. But for me, if I'm going to get high, and then part of my brain's going to be like, why don't we stay like this always? I mean, that's really the problem with it.
We're having a good time, right?
Yeah, right. Can we do this again tomorrow? How about next week?
See, that's where I can't get my head around is like, I feel phenomenal when I don't drink. I feel phenomenal.
Yeah.
But it's that borrow from tomorrow feeling when you feel phenomenal. It's been a couple days, been 3 days. Then everyone gets around and you have your first glass of wine and it kicks in and you're over by the grill. You're like, now this is what I was talking about. Who thought phenomenal was the other day in the morning?
Yeah. Now I'm right. I'm just right.
Now there we go.
For an hour.
And then the next morning you wake up, you're like, am I going to be the guy that dies on the toilet like Elvis?
From booze?
Yeah, just a stroke.
No, you're just going to die, fat and sad, and probably alone.
Just clip that out and put that on YouTube. It's exactly what I was going to be. So I want to talk to you about this hour. I just finished my hour.
Wait, let me ask you something, though. Before we get into that, let's talk about the booze some more. Okay. So,
I'm an open book right now.
Are you?
Or an open wound, you might say.
Why? What's going on?
I went back on tour last week and I pushed it. I get recalibrated after Sober October, and I'm really good at managing, working out the next day and partying and not going too hard. And by the way, it's connected to my mental health. It's almost like being
really drinking.
No, but
is connected.
I know, right?
To your mental health.
I say sometimes I think,
wow, this is an amazing breakthrough. Drinking has an impact on one's sense of self and mental health.
My anxiety is so tied to it. It's really ridiculous.
That's insane.
But it's like almost like riding the levels of a dam of going like, we got to let out some water. We got to push it back up. And then this past weekend, it just got away from me. It was like
blackout,
gray out.
Wow.
Yeah. Like a
strangers in the hotel room.
No, woke up on the bus and I said, when do we leave? And they said, we're there. Ooh. And I said, we drove last night.
Yeah.
And they were like, are you being serious? And I was like, I'm being dead serious. Wait,
that's when you go like, no.
If it's going to be scary to me, it's going to be scary to everyone.
Okay.
And I was like, shut up. And they're like, wait, you don't remember driving? And I was like, no, but hold on. Did I? And then the next thing I go to, and I
you're
think
driving the bus?
No. And I go, did I eat last night? Because I was on a diet. And they're like, oh God, you ate.
Oh no.
They're like, you took all the sides from the meal before the night before and it combined them into a stew and then put hot sauce. I was like, motherfucker.
That's like something you dare a kid to do. We mixed all that up.
Oh.
And
and then pull an all-nighter, get on the flight home, fly home, drink on the plane, come home,
and then try to explain to her that you don't feel well.
Yeah,
like I think I might have that bug. Or
I was like, I was just being short, and then that night go to sleep, get like legit the gross sweats where it smells like piss, and you're like, God damn it, go to hot spin, and then the person next to me, I didn't drink in 24 hours. Person next to me is like, what did you drink last night? And I was like, it's still coming out of me.
Oh, you broke
but then I didn't drink, and now I'm fine. I feel great. I feel actually superhuman. I'm getting on a red eye tonight, and I'm like,
tonight,
and I'm like,
to where? Florida?
To Boston, and I'm like,
Wilbur,
Chevalier.
I don't know what that is.
It's the one out. It's in Medford.
Oh, it's big.
It's a little bigger, yeah. But and so I'm like, all right, how do I regulate? Now I know what you're gonna say. I know guys like you say. You seem like you're having so much of a difficult time regulating when it's so much easier just to say no.
I guess, but like, you got a problem. You've got the Stanhope problem. Like your image and everything about you is tied into this shit. So you
kinda. I mean, it definitely is, and I think people expect it of me. But I don't drink when I'm on stage. I don't show up drunk.
No, I know.
I drink after the shows,
right?
And sometimes no one even sees me drink,
right?
I don't talk about being hammered on stage, so it's like it is a weird brand that I'm attached to, but is not really. It's not like they're not getting a payout from it. Like Doug Benson does his shows high.
I think he does everything high.
Yeah. So like,
I don't think Doug Benson.
I do this podcast sober. I do my stand up sober. I do everything sober, but they know I like to drink.
You get the good stories though.
I get good stories
when you're fucked up.
Yeah, but I could just. I mean, I don't know.
No. I mean, look, I'm not gonna. What am I gonna say about it? It's like eventually, you get worn out. It's like whether you're an alcoholic or not. That's up to you to decide. But the truth, the one thing you're feeling is you're 47 and you can't fucking do it as much as you used to.
I just don't want to be tired. I want a good night's sleep every now and then. Sounds horrible to say.
Then do it.
Yeah, but it's hard to get off stage and like I saw you guys. I watch you guys, and I watch you and Dean like go out and go guitar shopping or go eat pizzas.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't even know what meal you had. You posted on your Instagram the other day. It was a meal of some sort, but it
beautiful.
Looked so fucking good.
At that the Honey Paw in Portland, Maine.
What was it? I'm in Portland, Maine Sunday.
Yeah.
Wait, what's it called?
Honey Paw.
And what did you have? That looks so good.
You mean the Asian looking food, right?
Yeah. Did I bring?
I'll show it to you. Yeah. There's 3 restaurants the same people own right next to each other. There's a Honey Paw, the Eventide Oyster Company in Hugo's. Now, the Honey Paw in Portland is this amazing Asian style thing. We had a braised cabbage. We had a yellowtail crudo.
Thing. What's this thing?
Oh, that's different.
So is that hummus?
That's you've been to the Comedy Cellar, right?
Oh no, Mark! You're telling me I looked at the place next door to the Comedy Cellar?
No, they have a place out on the island. That's Malmoon's on the island.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. So we were in Huntington, and we went to Malmoon's because they have the best fucking shawarma.
That looked so good.
Well, no.
And wait, where was this pizza from?
That's New Haven.
Okay. Hold on.
So like,
where's the Honey Paw? I don't see the Honey Paw on here.
Keep going. It's purple cabbage. It looks Asian. It's very colorful. No,
right here.
Right. Look at all those pictures. So you go. That's that's braised cabbage, and that's a yellowtail crudo, and then there's a fat rice noodle with duck, and then there's the Japanese pickle, and then the last one is a fucking brown butter lobster roll. Now, here's what happens. So the guy,
I feel like I'm Ben Affleck, just going, I know I can't drink. Let's see how much I can eat this weekend.
Yeah, do it. So, but what I'm telling you is, the guy the same kitchen for all 3 restaurants. So I wanted to go to the Eventide Oyster Company, but the guy, we were sitting at the Honey Paw because it looks so good eating, and he comes in, introduces himself, and I'm like, so it's all the same kitchen. Go, can I get one of those lobster rolls? Because all I always wanted was a lobster roll. So they do it differently. Somehow they add brown butter to the lobster and they serve it on you like bao, it's a bao bun, dude.
Bao buns are better than any fucking bun.
Dude, it's a lobster roll on a bao bun. That's Eventide Oyster Company.
All right. I've got everything. I've got all the info I have for this weekend. I cannot fucking wait.
Yeah. And there's another great seafood joint, Scales, we went to.
So do you wake up and go, what's good, and get an Uber and go there?
For sure.
Really?
Yeah. No, there's a great breakfast biscuit place too.
So wait, what's a weekend on the road with you look like? Because mine is like, wake up on the bus. It's 1:30. What's close? Fuck it. We'll get wings.
Fuck no, man. When me and Dean go out, because neither one of us drink.
Yeah.
And, he's got some issues with food in terms of, sugar and shit.
Yeah.
So I'll try to find the best places we can fucking eat. And, we build our whole goddamn trip around it.
Really?
Yeah, man. Like, but
so what time do you get up?
I get up early because he doesn't.
So you get up at like
7 or 8.
7 or 8. And you get up, you have a coffee?
I generally have tea. And I have coffee later. I'm not back on coffee. I got off coffee.
No. I can agree with that because coffee too early in the morning, it blows my load for the day.
Yeah,
I don't get to use it.
Yeah, I wasn't drinking any coffee, but I'm back on it because when we're on the road now, especially on the East Coast, I was really looking forward to this trip.
Yeah.
Because me and Dean, it's almost like the gigs are great, but like it's almost like being on vacation too. Because we like a lot of the same shit.
That's so interesting because Dean had to pitch himself to you for a long time. I remember listening to Dean.
He was annoying back then.
Yeah, but I remember listening to that Dean Dean WTF.
Yeah.
And it was so good.
Yeah.
And I went like, it was almost like listening to you guys become friends.
I know.
And you were like, it's so amazing. I thought you were so annoying before. And then, so now to see you guys out on the road, I keep seeing it. And I think of that first WTF with you two.
Yeah, he talks about that too. Well, he was just weird and annoying at first. He's like, hey, man, why don't you have me on? I'm like, he's a weird guy that gets off his motorcycle at the Comedy Store. He's like, I've done 304 sets. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking. Like he was just odd.
Yeah.
But no, because like I learned a lot about music from him, and he's a gearhead in a lot of the things that like I'm not a nerd guy or a gearhead guy or a dude like that. So like I don't know about boots and pants and jackets.
So what kind of guy are you then? Because I don't see you as a nerd guy. I don't see you as a gearhead guy, and I don't see you as a bro.
No, I'm not.
Like, what are you? Just like thoughtful? Just thoughtful?
I'm thoughtful and angry, thoughtful guy. Like, look, dude, man, I can hit a ball. I can grill a fucking steak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't drink no more, but I can, I'm practical is my problem. Like, I'm definitely not a bro because like I don't know how to get excited about that kind of shit. Like the bros get excited about things to sort of, compensate for the feelings that they're afraid of. You understand?
Wait, no, I don't, but so explain it to me.
I mean, like, come on, man. Could be hiding like, I'm sad. You know what I mean? So I'd rather be sad and then like, fuck you, than like, yeah, let's do it. You understand?
I see. So our bros glass half full and you're a glass half empty guy?
No, I mean, I'm sort of like the glass is the glass. You know what I mean? Like, this is what we got.
It's a glass, guys. Yeah. Why do we give a fuck? It's going to be gone just like us when the coronavirus
stay in the present. But I think, I don't know. I think the real answer to that is I've always been sort of my own thing. Like I don't have a lot of close friends. I don't socialize a lot. I'm kind of an anxious, aggravated person. I spend a lot of time not alone in a weird way, but I play guitar, I read things, I listen to music, I'm always working. But I think growing up, I was always the guy who could move through all the cliques. Mm-hmm. Like I could make the jocks laugh. I could hang out with the freaks. I could hang out with whoever. I was funny enough to kind of move through all of them, but I didn't have a tight crew. Like in high school, I hung out with dudes who drank. We used to drive around, get someone to buy us booze, get fucked up, listen to loud music. More of a rock guy, probably. Yeah. But I don't know. Like I wondered about that myself because I just got a Traeger grill.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but like I was just half looking at grills, and then like I was asking people on my podcast, what should I get? And then I got an email from a guy at Traeger, and he said, "We'll set you up." And I'm like, "That sounds like a good one, the free one."
Oh, Traeger's one of the best grills out there. One of the best grills out there, without a doubt. Oh yeah, we don't have a Traeger here.
You have a fancy one.
I have a couple
built
fancy
in.
ones. Yeah, It's a stupid one. I was an idiot.
Why?
I do
because it's gas.
No, because no. one of the gas grill. I also have a smoker, and I have a big green egg.
But I heard, what about that green egg?
My dad said to me, my dad's like you.
Yeah.
Not a bro, just a guy that cruised through life on his own, and kind of, I think because he lost his dad at a young age. But my dad's like, look, there's two types of idiots. There's types of idiots that love to put on the grill, turn on the game, have a beer, light a cigar, walk back and forth around their house and brag that they're grilling. And there's guys that just like to fucking eat. Now, I just like to fucking eat. If you're one of those first idiots, get a big green egg. And I actually said, Dad, that's the exact kind of idiot I am. You should have said that I'd be in a Speedo the entire time. Like those. And so that's the big green egg it is a mission. It is like, we're cooking. It's great for a Boston butt or like a.
I almost bought it because I saw that like once you get the hang of how to work those holes.
Yeah.
That it seems like a thing.
It's fun to mess with and then to set and go, all right, we're good. And then come back and go, damn, still the same temp. Oh shit. And it's a lot of fun.
That was the one I was going to buy, but then I was sort of like, but I kind of like, I want to make sure, because I don't know if I'm going to be the guy that's going to get that obsessed. And I would like to have a grill where I'm just sort of like, I just want to get in the habit of throwing things on it to eat right now.
That's the gas grill, and Traeger's a great grill. Then we got a smoker. We take a smoker on the road with us, and so we have one in the tour bus, and we'll pull it out and we'll smoke ribs or brisket.
With real wood?
No, pellet wood. That's that one.
With the Traeger's pellets too. Yeah. Do you think the Traeger's a good smoker?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's all Rogan uses is Traeger.
Now I know that the guy who came to give me mine says I brought one to Rogan. I'm like, all right, I'm not quite. It's so funny, man. Because like I was taking some steroids for my back,
Really?
Well, because I had
not growth.
No,
yeah.
No, because I have pain.
Yeah.
Like I hurt my back. Yeah. And sometimes they give you steroids for inflammation. And it was so funny because I was getting cranky and I didn't know what it was. And I think it was that. But like I was taking those and I got a Traeger, and my producer texts me, he's like, "You're on steroids and you got a Traeger? You turned into Joe?"
No. I guess I would love to do what he does. He goes to the doctor and gets his levels monitored.
Yeah, I don't think he's a roid guy.
No, I think I would love to do that. Because I can feel it in my old age, my body not just bouncing back. Like bouncing back, but like
bouncing back. But look, Joe's like really pushing it. I mean, what you're not, in a different way than you.
He pushes it really hard. He's an aggressive athlete. Right. I just like to get on. By the way, my wife's trainer told me the only reason I like getting on the treadmill and running or going to spin class is because I'm fucking crazy. Yeah. Like it shuts his brain down. That's why those people do that.
I know. I got to get back up the hill. Like I took 4 days off.
This episode of the Bertcast is brought to you by Blue Apron. I absolutely love Blue Apron. Options are everything, especially when it comes to food. With more weekly recipes than ever, Blue Apron makes it easy to eat well. This is why I love Blue Apron. You don't know this yet, but you're going to find this out next week. Me and Tom Segura are going vegetarian. And Blue Apron offers a wide variety of recipes that fit your lifestyle, from health-conscious options with the new Blue Apron premium meals that feature exceptional ingredients and advanced techniques. Create a plan that works for you with Blue Apron's ever-changing mix of premium, plant-forward, vegetarian, carb-conscious, Mediterranean, diabetes-friendly, WW-approved, and 500-calorie or less options. Here's the deal. It is super inexpensive for you to feed your entire family with a chef-designed, ready-to-cook meal, perfectly portioned ingredients, and lots of flavorful options, all sent directly to your door with prices starting as low as $7.49 per person. They're super flexible too. You got a busy week? Are you traveling? Skip weeks or cancel at any time. Let Blue Apron take care of meal planning so you can enjoy everything else. Over half of their signature menu is stacked with ready-to-cook meals designed for balanced eating. All meals are super easy to prepare. Literally, I've never had a meal that hasn't taken more than 40 minutes, and some I've done in low as 20 minutes. In addition to 11 weekly recipes that range from grain bowls, salads, pastas, comfort food, Blue Apron now offers a weekly premium recipe that makes any night a special night. You get prime protein options and interesting dishes that may use techniques that you haven't tried before and then become techniques that you use all the time. You often learn something new while cooking with Blue Apron. And I will say this, without a doubt, a family that eats together is closer, and my family is closer because of Blue Apron, even when we don't eat a Blue Apron, our family gets together and has dinner, and that is because of Blue Apron. We weren't doing that until we started making Blue Aprons, and it has allowed my daughters to expand their palate and things they would have never tried, they will try if it's on Blue Apron. Cooking doesn't have to be a hassle. Blue Apron gives you options and makes it easy, taking the guesswork out of dinner so you can enjoy a home-cooked meal. Check out this week's menu and get $60 off when you visit blueapron.com/Bertcast. That's blueapron.com/Bertcast. Blue Apron. Feed your soul. This podcast is brought to you by Whoop. We're all trying to figure out different ways to be healthier. Good God, that is going on so hardcore in my house right now. Leanna's down, I think, 13 or 14 pounds, and I am up 10 pounds. She's saying you got to go to the gym. You got to be smarter about nutrition. But I often tell her, and I've learned this through my experience through Sober October, that sleep is overlooked as a crucial part of what makes us all perform to our best every day. I am exhausted today. I barely got any sleep last night. So little sleep, in fact, that I was afraid to look at my Whoop. Tomorrow's best work is done by night. And our sponsor, Whoop, is a fitness tracker that provides next-level insights so users can be smarter about sleep and optimize their performance. Through its 24/7 physiological data collection and industry-leading accuracy, Whoop provides those key personalized insights and deep analytics that'll actually let you know how much sleep you need, how recovered your body is to take on each day, and how much strain you put on your body from everything you do in and out of training. I'm telling you when I say sleep is so valuable. And if you don't know how you're sleeping, if you're getting an inaccurate reading how you're sleeping, you're not getting any help with your sleep. Whoop's readings are so accurate. If you're looking to be smarter about sleep, recovery, and training so you can be at your best, then you have to get a Whoop. For my listeners, Whoop is offering 15% off when you use the code BERT at checkout. Go to whoop.com. That's WHOOP.com. And use the code BERT at checkout to save 15% off your order. Unlock your best self today. I am unlocking my best self tomorrow, and I am going to bed right after this, and I am charging my Whoop currently, and I will let you know what my reading is on Instagram tomorrow.
But getting back to Dino and I, is that the question is that, yeah, I plan like I bought a guitar on the road this last time.
I saw it.
Yeah, and we when we're in the car, we'll listen to certain music. We like the certain music. He knows a lot more about music and about instruments and shit, and I like that shit. So it's always a good conversation around that stuff.
Yeah,
I like stuff that he doesn't know about, and he'll explain shit to me because he's I get I'm crazy compulsive guy, but he knows everything about motorcycles, cars, watches, guitars, amps, jeans, boots. That's his life.
By the way, those are all really cool things to know about.
Right. But no one knows him like him.
Yeah.
And he he knows the shit. Because he used to be into it. And the thing you don't know about Dean outside of being a great comic is that he's always hustling shit. Rock t-shirts. He's a big rock t-shirt guy right now.
Really?
He's been to every concert in the world. Yeah. And he used to buy and sell guitars and amps. So he knows all that shit, and he played too. So we always have a pretty good time. Yeah, I end up buying, guitars and jackets and stuff when I'm with him.
What about, would you be ride a motorcycle?
No, my dad was an orthopedic surgeon when I was a kid before he was a broke ass sad man. But he did that thing where you want to ride a motorcycle? Come with me to the hospital. I want to show you a guy that, so he brought me it was a scared straight situation.
My dad did that with lawsuits. Oh, really? Doberman? Think that's a good looking dog? Take a look. Literally, take a look at this picture. They got attacked by a Doberman. We're suing them. And I was like, fuck. Yeah, my dad was, oh, really? Oh, you think fireworks are a good idea? Take a look at this lawsuit. And you're like, Jesus
really?
Christ. Oh, yeah, my dad operates out of fear.
Yeah. I had a mini bike.
Really?
Yeah.
When you were a kid?
Yeah.
In New Mexico?
Yeah, and he also had a motorcycle, but it was only for dirt, like a little Suzuki 90.
Seems like it would be fun.
Yeah, I was never that. I was always a little nervous about it. I could ride the mini bike around, but he had these things, but he wouldn't let us do much with them. I'm not that big of a daredevil. You know what I mean?
So when you play the guitar, I play the guitar, but I feel like maybe I'm lost because when you play the guitar, I notice that first of all, you're good, but when you sit down to play the guitar, do you write your own music? Do you play other songs that you like playing?
I improvise. I wish I'd done more of that. Like there are guys who like learned how to play by learning other people's leads and stuff.
That's how I learned how to play. I'd learn a song from someone else, and I can only play other songs. I couldn't do my own thing.
No, see, like I learned the scales and then I learned the riffs, so I can play along leads and stuff. But I'm not great at like knowing chords and stuff. I need to do that more.
Really?
But I just jam. Like, I can, basic shit, basic rock, basic country, some stone shit. I can definitely, get the hang of it. But I was always just, playing leads and licks and learning leads and licks. Like Jimmy Vivino, when I used to do Conan, he'd show me new licks. And then eventually he lets me play with him sometimes.
I think you played when I was on.
Was I?
Me, you, and Dean were on, and you played.
That's right. And that was the one time he let me play. But if he's got a combo thing out in the valley, he'll let me come sit in for a couple songs. Yeah.
Well, that's
cool. Great. And I played with Slash at a thing. That was pretty wild.
I drank with Slash.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He's an interesting guy.
Which is more creative, do you think?
I don't know. I have a really great Slash story, so I don't know.
Other than I play guitar with him.
I have a great Slash story that involves Patrice O'Neill and a girl with what's it called? Cerebral palsy. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I always feel like if
You've told that, I assume.
I'm sure. It's not worth it.
Oh.
By the way, in today's culture, it's a tad bit cruel.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah.
So
Patrice,
you had
no Patrice story ever comes out past woke culture where you can defend it.
You had to shelve that story?
Yeah. It's one of the ones where I put it in my book and I was like, I'll leave it there.
Like, I kind of wonder about this. Like, lately I've been wondering because just like you said,
I have notes. I have notes. If we're talking about WTF, I have notes. Keep coming.
About, like you said, like, what kind of dude am I? And I think sometimes I'm misunderstood.
I think you're definitely misunderstood.
Because, like, I don't know how people categorize me, but, like, I know your audience, like, when you sell out, like, I go down to Florida, I was at the Hard Rock, in Orlando, and I sold like 1,000 tickets, 900 to 1,000 tickets. Place seats, 12, 14. You're doing two shows there. And I think to myself, well, certainly Bert's going to have more people down here than I am.
Yeah, I grew up there.
Right. And I'm not, but in general, I know, like, I'm not drawn. We don't have a lot of crossover because there's a sense that we're a different type of guy.
I can imagine that, but right. I would imagine a lot of my fans listen to WTF, but would not go see you live based on what their taste in stand-up is.
Yeah, right, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the same with Joe. Joe's got his dudes, and I'm not one of those dudes. But then I realized, like, what kind of dude am I really? But I'm not some puss.
No, not at all.
You know what I mean? It's like, and I'm not like, I'm the real deal.
You're a fantastic comedian.
So, like, it's fine with me, but I don't really quite understand, like, this special and even my last special. Look, I understand, like, with Joe, maybe his crew politically, there might be some differences, or or they have a problem with me philosophically, or maybe I don't like, I condescend a bit to like UFC and shit, and I don't know about that stuff, and I can't talk sports, and I don't want to fucking do hallucinogenics, but I have, but I don't always know, like, where the why everyone's got these separate camps, but I feel like they are. I mean, you got Joe guys, but I don't know. I think I have a few Joe guys, but they're more like guys who, like, I listen to Joe sometimes.
I think Joe guys are a much broader spectrum.
Clearly.
But I think you and Joe have a lot more in common than not. For instance, Joe doesn't know much about sports. He knows about UFC.
Yeah.
But that's it. You can't talk to him about
basketball.
I would argue Joe couldn't name one professional basketball player.
Yeah.
I would actually probably put money on it.
Yeah.
Because you'll say stuff to him like, I remember one time I was like, "Hey man, I got Warren Sapp is a friend. He should be on the podcast." He's like, "I don't know who that is," and he's like one of the more famous football players and worked for NFL Network or ESPN at the time. But I would agree that you are misunderstood, and I think that goes to, like, I wonder where that goes to, because you're insightful, thoughtful. The people you have on your interviews are fucking amazing.
I think most of it comes from this idea of where I am politically, and I think
you and Joe are more similar politically than apart.
No, for sure. I don't know who it is or what it happens, but it's usually right wingy guys. that ruin the party for people who want to like me from that ilk of person.
That's interesting because it's funny that I went on a podcast with a guy. I wish I knew his name. Very insightful dude, and he was like, it was in New York, and it was out of I want to say out of NPR or something like that.
Yeah,
and on a campus in Brooklyn, and he was like, so you're like alt-right, and I was like, no,
what?
That's what I said, and I was like, what the fuck? And he's like, well, you watch these fight videos online of the Antifa versus alt-right, and I went, oh yeah, of course,
yeah.
And he's like, and you're cheering for the alt-right guys. And I was like, well, no, I'm cheering for the guy and then I'm sitting there going, what am I representing? Like, and then I kind of, this is why we stopped doing this one podcast I had called Open Tabs. Cause I was like, wait, how am I representing I didn't even know how I was representing myself. Right. People, I knew how people were perceiving it, and they were perceiving it that I was alt-right. And then I came out saying, I'm definitely not alt-right. Then the alt-right attacked me and came after me. And I was like, yeah, and there was a point where at one point in my podcast, all I read in the comments were state your fucking politics. And I was like, oh, I'm done with this. We stopped doing that podcast altogether. I was like...
Yeah, because you're a comedian.
I'm a comedian. And by the way, probably one of the more liberal people you'll ever meet in this country.
Of course.
But just based on the fact of where I live, who I interact with, how I see the world.
How'd you get associated with that? See, that's the fucking thing is like once it gets out there, you have no control over how you're going to be used.
No, not at all.
And how you're going to be represented. Like one of Joe's freaks did some stupid documentary about the failure, how this is like one of those weird documentaries about how, I lost all of my listeners because I started talking about Trump.
Oh, I know. I almost know exactly who this dude is. He does documentaries like Now the Tale of the Worm Jim Norton.
Something like whatever.
And it's just...
Was it an anti-Jim?
Yeah, anti-Jim. So it's just a huge and I'm certain I'll probably get one now, but like a huge anti-Jim campaign.
Yeah, but that's how propaganda works now, whatever his intentions are. However, the current political climate has sort of activated these, miserable, angry fuckers who are alone in their homes and, generally pissed off about their lot in life, but are incredibly adept at technology.
Incredibly adept.
They have a lot of power to take you and do whatever they want to with what you put out in the world. And it's a little scary, and some of them are right-wingy and some of them, they just like starting shit. But a lot of them have been turned out by the right wing. So, and I don't know how many of them have infiltrated, the Joe base or your base or anyone's base. Who knows? But I have no real, I just know that I'm not a jock.
But here's what's crazy is I listen to your podcast. I listen to all of them.
Sure.
You're not, by any stretch of the means, are you political on your podcast? Your interview.
I'm a little nervous about authoritarianism happening.
Yeah, and you'll say,
and I don't like Trump.
You'll say intelligent things.
Yeah,
but you're not rolling into I'm
not doing commentary, but I definitely am anti-Trump.
Yeah.
So and for me, I don't have any problem with that because I believe that I've been doing a bit about it. It's actually on my special, where it's just sort of like, I basically say that, he's really one of the shittiest people that's ever done anything. And I believe even people who like him know that. Yeah. They know that in their heart that he's shitty, but they're kind of shitty and they're excited about being able to be proud to be shitty. So, but I have this litmus test about, the way to tell is let's say Trump is who he is, but no one knows who he is. He's got a different job. And he's working at a used car lot.
Okay.
And you're on the lot and you're looking at cars. You're walking around, looking at the prices on the windshields. And out of the trailer where the sales guy is, out walks Trump. Any human being, when they looked at him, would have the same experience, which would be like, oh, I'm not going to deal with that guy. There's no other salesman here. Like that's what anyone would feel in that moment. Isn't there someone else on the lot?
If Trump walked up as your waiter, you'd be like,
"Oh, I can't.
I'm sorry. Where's my?"
But I definitely have that, And then
why can't? But here's my question: why can't someone who's all right laugh at that? I think it's fucking hilarious.
You would think so, but what they do is they lump you because we're into this team sports thing. Yeah. Is that once they represent you as a liberal, then you're you're the other team. You represent this. this horrendous, they've characterized liberalism in this very weird way. And anybody who's anti-Trump somehow falls into this kind of like, whatever it is that they think it is.
Yeah.
And then you're part of the enemy. So that's the problem, is those guys.
Yeah. Well, I'll play devil's advocate. The left has them too.
Sure. I'm not saying
the
that.
left is what frustrates me about the left is sometimes I feel like it's people that aren't creative enough to come up with content, just post shit about Trump. And I'm like, dude, you're proving everyone's isolating everyone more to where a guy like you, who I know is liberal. I know you're liberal. I think everyone knows you're liberal. You're very open-minded. You're a very intelligent person. But to lambast you further left than you need to be, when you're just regular left.
Yeah.
You're just regular.
I'm just a guy that wants, it to be correct for people.
I want it to be fair for everyone.
Yeah.
Here, I said one day, and this is my politics, I want everyone to feel as awesome as I feel. I feel really good. And if there's a kid who's identifying a female and his transitioning, I mean, I'm not saying like 2 years old or whatever, but like if a kid in my daughter's grade wants to transition and change their pronouns, and that will make them feel like I feel when I wake up, I'm all fucking for it.
Right.
Yeah.
People change, and people want to, what is freedom really? And why does somebody have to dictate, what's horrible, what isn't, just because of some old idea of whether it's Christianity or a sense of, white ethnicity in terms of like being the right thing? Like what are the standards for these people that put themselves as a judge to everyone else to say, like, whatever freedom means, it should mean that people can pursue the happiness that they want to pursue. And now there's a lot of people that are like, fuck that. This is what it is. Get on board, or you're part of the problem.
I think it's people that feel like you're taking stuff away from them.
Well, yeah, they might be mad about a lot of things, but you don't have to go too far into a rabbit hole about it. But my basic fear. Let's go back
to
my basic fear is that authoritarianism can happen, and it can happen here. And you started to feel the rumblings of it. Now, of course, the righties will be like, "Oh, here we go." Lefties are more fascist. I'm like, it's not really right, and it's a false equivalency. But the way that he's running the country is clearly not about uniting the United States, right? It's clearly not.
That I think pretty much everyone can agree with. It's not about bringing people together.
So what kind of a leader is that? You pretty much agree on what?
That he's not trying. He's not waking up going, "How do I get people closer?"
No, for fuck no. So,
but that's the old way of how to run a proper. Like run a not proper government. There was a guy I was friends with. I'll tell you his names later. And my wife said, he is a guy that what he does when he goes to a party is he grabs people and isolates them. And he takes their time, pulls them away from people. And then when they go to back, he grabs someone else and isolates them. He doesn't want people talking at the same times about him or to him or around him. And it was really fascinating that I was like, I don't know what correlation you can draw from that, but.
Interesting. Well, he's needy.
So then let's get back to the point
special
of no of why what is it that makes certain listeners of yours that are bros, because I've been a listener since day one.
Yeah.
Day one I've been a listener.
Yeah.
What makes it that they don't go out and actively buy a ticket? Because I think everyone has said this. You're one of the fucking greatest stand-ups we have. When I say we, I mean the store, but the store is where the mecca of stand-up's happening right now. You've been brilliant your entire career. All your books, everything you put out is of quality. Not just that, your fucking movies. Glow, the fucking Sword movie.
Sword of Trust.
Sword of Trust. Everything you do is of quality. You're in fucking Joker, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
So like, where is it? Where is the disconnect, do you believe?
Oh.
Because I could say my connect is that I think maybe too broadly, I branded myself as the guy who drinks. Even though I could argue against it, I'm the guy who parties.
Party guy, yeah.
Party guy.
Well, I don't know. I don't know that. I think a lot of people don't necessarily associate me with stand-up. You know, like I don't know that, like I have a huge podcast audience and that's what initially grew my audience.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people watch those specials really. I know that my last special was great.
Yeah.
It's the best I ever did. And this one coming out is pretty unique and just as good, if not better, you know, but I don't know that. I also, because of the nature of how I do stand up, I don't know if I'm everyone's idea of a night out. Do you know what I mean? Like, like, you know, when you're, like, it's kind of a lot to deal with, man. You know, it's not.
I have a visual of a couple walking out of your show and her going, honey, do you want to get some merch? He's like, I just want to go home.
I think it'd be flipped.
Things aren't looking good. I want to fucking talk to you about what he said.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I need to quit drinking. I got a lot on my plate.
Well, there you go. That's the answer.
Oh,
that's the answer.
That might be the funniest thing I've ever heard. Ever.
I think that's the answer, though. I think that people are like, you want to go see Marc Maron? I'm like, I don't know, man. I mean, I love him. He's funny, but it's a lot. It's going to be a lot.
Why? What is it? How do you see the world then? Like, if you think that is, because when I watch you, the thing I love about you is you're unpredictable with what you're going to say or what your take's going to be.
Right.
I won't say exact jokes because I don't know what isn't in your special. I remember one night watching you in the belly room.
Go ahead.
And
it doesn't matter.
And you were like, and by the way, we can take this out if you'd like us to, but you were up there, you sit on a stool, and you just very casually go, it's a great vibe in this club, isn't it? And everyone goes, yeah. Like, stand us back. And you're like, yeah. You go, either that or the witch is almost dead. And and everyone in the back is crying, laughing, but your candor's always been like just, and that's what you love about, you love guys like you and Bert. I mean, I don't think Bert's stand-up is the same vein as yours. It's like pretty serious, pretty.
He is, but I think like one thing that he gains too, like, he's a little more easily aggravated and paranoid than I am, but also he's got a family. And I think like being able to speak honestly about having a wife and kids and stuff, that's a big chunk of people.
And I think it's also like I remember Tommy Lee said, I was talking to Tommy Lee doing Brittany Furlong's podcast. He was like, I really love Bill Burr's material. And I was like, really? Like a guy who's been actively going through anger management classes, sees eyes eyed with Burr.
Right.
Get the fuck out. No way. I didn't see that coming, Tommy.
Yeah. Well, no, it makes
but yeah,
sense.
it makes total sense.
Yeah. You know, and I've dealt with like him and I, like I did jokes about my anger, you know, like specific, like, you know, we all kind of, who knows why anyone's going to become successful or what, you know, we don't know, you know, who's going to become huge. And sometimes people you think should do, but all I know for me is that I have found a core group of people. But even this hour that I've been doing, this 2-hour thing or hour and a half, like, you know, I started to feel towards the end of it, like I really realized like this is heavy shit, you know, and, you know, I'm riding the line and it's good. It's entertaining, you know, but I'm not, I got to a point where I'm like, what is my job? And then I started like, haven't we been entertained enough? I mean, what the fuck am I supposed to do for you people? I mean, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
So, and I know that, and I've got to get through it day to day. And part of that is by making you laugh about it, but it's heavy shit. But this is what we're going to do.
Yeah. And I think I take the probably exact opposite approach of where I go, let's not look at that.
Right. I can't do that.
Yeah. And
really?
I think that's why I like watching you or Burr, because you guys don't mind taking a look at it.
Yeah. It's tricky, you know, because I can very easily, you know, tilt, you know, like, you know, it's a very fine line to do what I do, like to manage the funny. Cause I could easily tilt to like looking out in the audience and seeing people going like, oh, it's me sad. You know, like, oh, this is, oof. You know, like the stuff I'm talking about, you know, usually when you talk about it, people like if you're talking about like the end of the world or like, you know, global, you know, climate change, you know, or, you know, like this is one of these things where I just got a new joke about that recently. that, people will adapt to anything. So whatever the truth is, there is truth.
Yeah.
We're causing trouble, but people like the reason why people believe anything is because they'll adapt. 3 years ago, I was down in Florida, and that fucking water, dude. Like my mother's in Hollywood, and I was staying on the beach. That water's coming up to the A1A at night. It's like the street is underwater.
Oh, they have ships go out and shovel sand back onto the beach because it's going.
Yeah.
It's going.
So, and I said to my mother, I'm like, what the fuck's with the water in the streets? And she was like, I don't know. It's the pipes or something. I'm like, what? She goes, it's gone in the morning. So like people will adapt to whatever
it's called
happens.
Tide.
So, but either way, the special is what it is. I mean, it's called End Times Fun, and it's about the end times, and it's got an insane closer that is like, look, man, like I really honored my heroes in this fucking special.
So who are your guys? That's a Marc Maron question.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like listening to the stuff, there's definitely like, I can feel me sort of honoring Hicks. I can feel me, sort of honoring Carlin, sort of honoring, Pryor to a degree, like engaging my emotions, but also like the last piece of the bit. The last bit is like this. It's almost like an opera. I mean, It's a big bit. It's crass. It could possibly offend a lot of people. It's like a lot of people.
By the way, this is exactly how you sell a special these days. It possibly could have had a lot of. I go, I got to find this. I got to find out where my line in the sand is drawn.
No, it definitely, like, I don't want to say who, but it's like two different groups could get very offended, or they could come together. Yeah. And I talk about all the stuff. I talk about a little bit about politics, a little bit about religion, about drugs, about love, about being woke, about and about prophecy, and I did just the regular stuff.
Yeah, the regular stuff. Jesus Christ. So wait,
I do talk a lot about Jesus.
How do you go about? And I know this is kind of a pedestrian question, something you'd ask someone that isn't in the business would ask you. But I ask you from my perspective of like, how do you see the seed of a bit? Like, how do you go when you got nothing, when you started this hour brand new, what was your first bit? And you were like, I could jump off from there. Like,
I don't like, to me, like, and I think it's all sort of this ongoing conversation. Like my brain, I've changed a bit over time, but I seem to talk about some of the same things for years because it's just who I am. These are the things I talk about.
That's what Stanhope said. Stanhope at one point said, I've written all the jokes I'm going to write.
Yeah.
Now I'm just rewriting jokes about the same subjects.
I don't know if it's quite that, because the conversation evolves, right? For the one I'm having about death, about love, about relationships, about
because you evolve,
whatever.
And you change, and
exactly.
You kind of
if I start like I've talked about, I say like I don't have a God because it wasn't put in me, but. And for me to find God at my age, it's 56, the wheels would really have to come off. And I don't know what, so it's just an honesty to it. Yeah. I'm not against it. I'm not saying like, fuck God or there's no God, but like, I didn't get it. Someone didn't plant it in there, and I don't think it's going to happen. So like that evolves. And then like lately I've been sort of like, I feel better about a lot of things. I'm not as mad as I used to be. And I accept a lot more than I used to. And, there's a lot of things that used to upset me that don't. And I don't really know if I'm just, getting older and wiser, or I have the beginning of Alzheimer's. I don't know. But I think if I do have Alzheimer's, people are not appreciating that first few months as much as they should.
Dude, just like, I got nothing like that in this special of mine. I got nothing. I'm like fucking talking about shitting in gender neutral bathrooms.
That's important.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah. But just because that's the difference. That's the kind of fucking guy I am. I'm a heady fucking dude. I spend a lot of time up here, thinking about shit, and a lot of the stuff I'm thinking about, people go like, what the fuck is that? Where did that come from? That's what I do. That's the kind of person I am.
Are you the kind of person that sits down at a dinner party and people start a conversation with you and you pick up where you left off in your head, where you're like, oh, like it's already like you've been playing double dutch, and all of a sudden they're like, holy shit, I didn't know we were going to talk about all this right now.
I'm not quite. No. Like I don't spend a lot of time with a lot of people like that I don't know real well, but I tend to listen more. I let people like over the years of doing the podcast, I really just sort of like I ask questions, I figure out where people are at, and then I go from there. You know, and if something gets exciting about what they're talking about, then we'll start. But I don't like. I used to be like a kind of a pompous, loudmouth about shit, but I don't do it anymore.
Your podcast is so. Do you ever think about like the sliding doors of had that not happened?
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, I don't think about what would have happened had it not happened, but it wasn't good. Like I don't like it was just one of those things where I started doing a thing and there wasn't very much of it out there, and my cosmic timing was just right, and my skill set was on the mark.
It was that it's the book that Malcolm Gladwell put out about
5,000 hours.
No, but the 10,000 hours. But you were in radio for real doing Air
a little
America.
bit. I didn't like. I wouldn't. It was probably better off. I wasn't a radio veteran.
You weren't a radio veteran, but you got the opportunity to learn.
I did. And the biggest thing I learned there was just that moment where I could I could man a mic myself. That was really the biggest moment, was that I could speak freely on a mic without being too self-conscious. That I learned on Air America when I started talking about my cats on a political show, because I just couldn't deal with the politics anymore. So I started talking about these fucking cats that I trapped. And I got so much email from it because there was an excitement about it and there was an engagement to it. So I realized like I can do this. Like I can connect this way. Like not everybody who gets on these mics.
No, but you could. But I would say I watched the process of growth.
Yeah.
At those early interviews.
Yeah.
Those early interviews
working shit out
were so good in that you were not handing anyone anything. If anything, you guys were going back and forth on everything. I remember those interviews so vividly. The one with Stanhope was like Janine Garofalo, like those ones, Patton, like Louis, like all those ones were like ones where I'm just like sitting there going like, this is not how it's supposed to be done. Like I remember being like, it's supposed to be friendlier. Like, why is it so like just being like,
I was not happy.
It was so beautiful. It was such a beautiful part of your personality. And by the way, when you started going to these, when you started going to bigger names and bigger talents, and it was just like, oh, this is because in that process, I feel like you became this A-class interviewer where it was like all of a sudden, like I remember like the silliest one was one of the Zappas, and I was just fucking riveted.
Yeah,
like I've never cared about a Zappa in my life.
Oh, recently with
maybe I don't know
with Dweezil, it was heavy, right?
Yeah,
sad, right? About his brother and his mom taking the money, and
then Bob Dylan's son.
Oh, Jacob, that's heavy.
I was like I had one interaction with Jacob Dylan in my life. I sat at a table with him, and all I kept saying is, like, how much money do you make? Like, it was
weird because like that was delicate. That shit's delicate, because like I know how am I gonna there's tricks that I've learned over time. So how do you get around to it? Like you don't want to talk. He doesn't want to talk about his dad, and I don't know if that's because he's mad at him or what. But it turns out, no, he's not mad at him. And he calls him when he's got a question about songwriting. And it's like, it's my dad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, so it took us 3/4 of an hour for you to, like, you know what I mean? Like, I got to dance around it,
Yeah.
But like that happens. So like today, even with Mike Campbell, like he's got, it was heavy, dude. It was
could you talk about Betty dying?
Well, that was the weird thing. Is like sometimes with musicians, I don't know how far I can go, right? Or in terms of like, what am I really going to get here? How long? It was a little under an hour, which is fine. But like I know he put out this new record with his new band, the Dirty Knobs, and it's okay, it's good, and a lot of it sounds like they would be good Tom Petty songs. But right out of the gate, it was wild because he sat down, and I don't know anything about him, but I love the music. And I just said, like, before we get going, man, I just want to say I'm sorry about the loss of your friend. And like, and he just was like, oh. And like, he's like, whoa, you think you're over it, and just give me a minute. It was like that, and I was like, okay, now let him have it. and then we get on with it, but
yeah.
So yeah, I was able to talk about that. I mean, what else is there to talk about with that? See, that's the weird thing about what I do is like people go like, what, like, how did Petty die? It's like, I don't know. Do you think I'm going to ask that guy that? Yeah. What was he on? What was he doing?
It's almost like digging apart a casserole.
Why? But it's like, why? Like, there's the moment this guy lost his friend, and I pay respect to that, and he felt it. What do you care? Because right, but what do you care? Like how that guy died? Do you know on some level?
Yeah,
he made a lot of great music. Whatever he did, he OD'd somehow.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I don't know. I see. I would just avoid having that person on my podcast because I would be like, I don't know what to talk to him about.
No, but like I had Ronan Farrow on, and people were like, "Well, did you ask him about who his dad is?" I'm like, "No. What are you, stupid? He's going to give the same answer he gives all the time, and it's just going to ruin the interview."
Tell me about your dad. Do you feel like your dad's ground zero for the Me Too movement?
Well, no, the Sinatra thing is what I'm talking about.
Oh, is he?
We talked about.
Is
Woody.
he Sinatra's kid?
No, some people think that.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. And people were like, dude, and I kept looking at him though. I wasn't going to ask the question, but I kept on. And I don't think he is.
Really?
No.
What's he look like? I don't even know what he looks like.
He's very handsome. But people put him next to Sinatra. But he was like 70 something. Sinatra. It's just not. It doesn't matter. It was a great interview.
That's crazy. So let's talk about music real quick.
Yeah.
You always seem to have your finger on the pulse of something really cool that I've never heard of.
Do I?
Every time you're like, and then I was listening to this, and then I go in and I'm like listening. I can't remember exactly what it was, but you talked about something one time on your podcast, and then I hit it up and I was like, oh yeah, you listen to music like legit on a fucking turntable by yourself and listen to it.
I do that.
So give me a couple sleeper songs that I'm like where you're like, oh, like perfect example, You Don't Know How It Feels is one of the that song can on such a deep level.
Yes.
Where I listen to it and I'm like, so let's get to the point.
Yeah.
Let's roll another joint.
So good,
turn the
man.
radio loud. I'm too alone to be proud. You don't know how it feels. What a fucking, I can listen to that on an airplane and just be like,
crying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of Wilco songs will make me cry.
Yeah.
Like anything that seems like parenthood or not being there as a dad, I'm like, Jesus Christ. But what's something, tell me some songs or some musicians that you've been into lately. Because I always feel like that's an important thing. A good takeaway from a podcast is when I'm like, oh yeah, I can that. Oh, fuck yeah. That's something I can now add to my life or check out.
Oh, I was just looking at my phone of music, actually. Right now. Oh man.
I'll give you some time and I'll tell you what I just downloaded recently. You ready?
Yeah.
Everything by Fish. Because I just did some shows in
people
Burlington,
want me to get
Vermont.
into that. I've not done it.
Post Malone.
I'll listen to, I've been listening to one Grateful Dead song a lot lately.
What song? I'm a big Grateful Dead fan.
Are you?
A big Grateful Dead. Oh.
I've been sort of and Dino's late to the Dead, but he's into the Dead. He's Gone is the one I've been listening to. Oh. Do you know the song He's Gone?
I'm going to see if I have it.
It's on the original. It's on live in 72. Europe 72 is the first time they played it.
If there's one thing humans aren't great at, it's predicting the future. Take a look around. No amount of crystal balls, fortune cookies, or tea leaves can predict the world we're living in right now. But unpredictability is also what keeps life interesting. I like the chaos of it sometimes too. The trick is to enjoy the ride without worrying what's around the next corner. One way to worry less right now is to get the right life insurance. That's where Policy Genius can help. Policy Genius makes finding the right life insurance a breeze. In minutes, you can compare quotes from the top insurers to find your best price. You can save $1,500 or more a year by using Policy Genius to compare life insurance policies. Once you apply, the Policy Genius team will handle all the red tape for free. And Policy Genius doesn't just make life insurance easy. They can also help you find the right home insurance, auto insurance, and or disability insurance. So if you haven't found a play-by-play breakdown of your future inside a crystal ball or a fortune cookie, that's okay. Be prepared for anything with life insurance. In just a few minutes, you can find your best price and apply at policygenius.com. Progressive.com. Policy Genius. We'll always get the future wrong. Better get the life insurance right. I don't have it.
He's gone.
I'm getting it right now.
Dude. Oh, I love it. I don't know why that one. I'm wired for the Dead from way back.
Touch of Grey was my intro to the Dead.
Well, that's nothing.
But that was the first thing that I saw it on TV, and I was like, okay.
I would get it off of.
I don't even have it in.
Huh?
Let me see. They got it in Apple Music. Yep, he's gone live in Europe.
Yeah, that's the one. 72.
Yeah,
that's it.
Oh, I'm getting this whole fucking album.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
Yeah, I've been really into Fish lately. That was just because we were in Burlington, Vermont. Someone told me something that I thought was really interesting, and I'm stealing this from another comic.
Yeah. But
they found out I was listening to a lot of Fish, and they go, "Don't you love going into a city and listening to the band that's famous in that city, and then learning about that city through the music of that band?" And I went, "I've never done that in my life."
Right.
Like I went to Burlington, and I was like, "I know Fish is here." I was a fan of Fish.
Do they write about Burlington a lot?
No, but it's interesting driving through their streets.
So like you go to Minneapolis, you're like, Replacements.
Prince.
Oh,
who just said this to me? They just said Minneapolis, Prince.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
So funny. I go with the Replacements.
That's so funny. So wait, I'll name a city. You say the band, the city from the band.
If I know.
Austin. Like, what would you think, Austin?
Willie Nelson.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
What about?
I like Alejandro Escovedo too. He's an Austin guy.
Really?
That first album he did. That's like a weird, like singer-songwriter dude. Used to be in Rank and File back in the '80s, but he's sort of he's an Austin guy. But he did an album called
wasn't Daniel? What's his name from Austin?
Johnston.
Daniel Johnston from
Maybe.
Austin.
I think he might be. Yeah.
I had a hard time celebrating his death because he tried to kill his father in an airplane.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know where I heard that. By the way, that might not be accurate at all. Apparently, his father was a pilot and was flying him home from a gig, and Daniel Johnston tried to kill both of them. Daniel Johnston was autistic, right?
He had some problems. Alejandro Escovedo he definitely lives in Austin, and he did an album called I think it's called 11. Hold on, Gravity. The album Gravity is pretty fucking beautiful.
Good luck spelling Alejandro.
Alejandro Escovedo, Escovedo. There's The Last to Know. This song is like, it's so, you'll love it. The very last to know.
More Miles Than Money. That's the name of my first 15 years of touring.
Right.
More Miles Than Money.
I'm
buying him right now.
Alejandro Escovedo, Gravity's the record.
Gravity?
Gravity's the name of that album. They're all great songs on there.
What do you think of Taylor Swift? Would you have her on?
I'd have her on. I don't know anything about her.
Oh, I think she's a really great
The
songwriter.
band I'm trying to get my brain around is
Gravity's the name of the album. I'm buying it right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to listen to this on the plane tonight.
The band I'm trying to get my brain around is Destroyer.
Destroyer?
Yeah. The guy, I guess he was part of the New Pornographers, the lead singer.
Oh my God. Hold on. I absolutely love that guy.
Yeah.
I fucking love the New Pornographers.
Dan, what's his name?
Courtney Love will punch your face in. That guy?
I think
the Destroyer. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah. Dan Bejar. Yeah.
So the name of the band's the Destroyers?
No, just Destroyer. They've got like 10 records out.
This guy was that's so funny in a world of like where you can go on YouTube and say, what happened to ...
Is this the guy? When you hear his voice. Big open. But there's all these different sounds. He's got a new record out, but like I never quite got it, and now I'm
it's called
like,
Have We Met?
The album.
Yep, the same guy.
Yeah.
So wait, what's the name of this album?
This one's called Street Hawk, A Seduction. The new record is called Have We Met? But the records that like people told me to get started with are Thief and A City of Daughters. Like there's a lot there. But the first few albums are kind of lo-fi kind of thing.
What were the ones they said to get started with?
Thief.
And
I think City of Daughters.
City of Daughters. I'm down. I'm buying it right now. Okay, because I love that guy. You know, that guy was like a big producer. So he would make a lot of music for other people.
Is that true?
Yeah. The craziest thing is I loved that song that they did.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, he just whipped that together. That's what he did, is he was more like a producer. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, he went on to produce a bunch of music. And I'm always like, I love that guy's style. I love that everything about him. And I think he lost his hair very young.
Really?
I think he went bald very young.
He's got a lot of hair, this guy.
No, maybe I'm thinking of the wrong fucking guy. Or maybe he just shaved his head. Or
maybe there's another maybe there's another guy in
this
there.
Night's the other one. I'm buying both of those. See, this is what I love about a podcast, is when you go,
yeah.
The Jeff Tweedy podcast you did was pretty interesting.
Yeah, because I'm not a huge Wilco guy. I do a lot better with guys who people love when I'm not that much in love with them.
Why?
Because I don't have the fanboy thing going. Like, I can have a sort of a regular conversation with a guy that I might even resent a little bit. Like, you listen to me with Keith Richards, it's ridiculous.
With you and Brad Pitt, Leo.
That's stupid.
I got nervous listening to that podcast. When Brad Pitt said he was a fan of yours, I said in my car, he knows who we are?
Yeah.
I was like, shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
He watched the entire season of Blow. Shut the fuck.
Maron. He's a Maron fan.
Dude, what is that? We'll get you out of here real soon. But what was that? What has that been like to go your entire career as a stand-up, respected in the community? All stand-ups, I think, up until recently, when stand-ups definitely started to pop, all stand-ups always felt we were struggling up. Everyone never felt like Segura and I just said, when we started, there were like 3 theater acts. It was Seinfeld, maybe Brian Regan, and like Larry the Cable Guy, like those guys.
Yeah.
Now it seems like we're all getting opportunities to do, those mid-sized theaters, which maybe they weren't, I don't even know what they were doing back in the day, but we've all been struggling up in stand-up. The gig was acting. You were one of the first guys to jump onto a big movie, the one with the fucking Cameron Crowe movie.
Almost Famous?
Yeah.
I had one line in there.
No, but it's because I listen to the podcast so much. So anytime I hear Lock the Gates,
nothing happened after that.
But then it just exploded. And
I think what the beauty of it is that, thank God we could, circumvent the fucking club system. I mean, I came up in it to a certain degree, and I was a middle and a headliner. I was looking down the barrel at being a B-room headliner for the rest of my life. And I knew what that was, but I never really built a following on the road. And I never got asked back a lot because of what I do. And I couldn't do it any other way. And, but what happened was, through podcasts and different styles of media and ways of getting an audience, now we don't have to the gatekeepers are us.
Dude, I said in a meeting one time, I said, I just want it to be clear, I got myself in this room.
Yeah.
Like, no one greenlit me to get in here.
Yeah.
I busted my ass with my podcast, my social media, with all this shit. Like, it wasn't Travel Channel that got me here.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting to say that this is the first time in our lives where, before this, it was, who got you into this room? Now it's, we get ourselves into the room.
People want to be part of it because they don't know how to do anything. And they need, you have to have certain momentum on your own now.
Yeah.
But the being able to circumvent the clubs is in some ways it's a fucking gift, dude. The fact that I don't even have to kiss any improv ass. I won't fucking do an improv ever because they can go fuck themselves.
I heard you say this one night on the patio at the store, and I was like, Mark, I think you can sell a lot of tickets in Irvine, and you're like, fuck them. I
won't. I do not sell tickets at improvs.
Yeah.
Or at Irvine. I did, and I don't need that embarrassment. Do you know, I have enough people, in most cities to sell 1,000 tickets. In some cities, 2,000 to 3,000.
All you need.
Fine.
That's
right?
all you need.
So I got to go to fucking Brea and be embarrassed because I can't move for fucking 500 tickets in Brea
and
that fucking organization.
And that was the flip.
Do you hear that tone?
Yeah.
That's old style.
By the way, you're listening to a very successful man still having a problem with the improvs. One of the most successful comics in our industry.
I do all right.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
I don't do. I've
been to your house.
It's always somebody I'm comparing myself to.
I have visuals. I have visual takeaways that I bring, that just things that I'll never forget. And one of them was you in that new house. I got to that house to do the podcast, and I was like, I'm at the wrong house. They sent me the wrong address. And I was like, even if he did buy a new house, this isn't his house. There's no way. And then I saw a cigar and like a fucking a rock magazine on the thing, a book, and I went, okay, maybe it is Mark's house. And you came out, and it was the the slice of the new man. You were eating avocado, and you were like, "Hey, Bert," and you were so calm, and I was like, "Oh shit, my God!" I was like, "Get me here!"
You were so excited.
I was so fucking.
That's a nice old house I got.
Dude, I fucking love it. But that is true. You were one of the guys. My biggest fear, everyone in my team's biggest fear was that my fans were improv fans, and I wasn't going to get them to go to a theater. Your fans have been waiting for you at theaters.
They hate going to comedy clubs.
You're
One time I played the Mall of America, early on in the podcast. That place seats like 1,000. I pulled about 30 people, and they were my fans. They're like, "We never come here. Does anyone come here?" I'm like, "Clearly not."
We had to walk by a Lego store.
That dead old mall out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
What club would you still do that you still
I still
love?
do clubs.
What clubs? What are your favorite clubs out there?
I got no problem with clubs, but outside the improvs.
Mm-hmm.
But like there was a time where our whole futures depended on these club owners' decisions about us.
The whim of the club owner, where he says, "Hey, you're going to hang out and party, right?" And I was like, "Definitely."
Right. Oh, good. Yeah, you're the guy.
Me. I
or when we did open mics, when I was doing like fucking open mics in Boston, the dude who ran that place, making the list, changing it up. Like that guy, Robin Horton, crimes against comedy. That guy, crimes against comedy.
I'll be in Boston this weekend.
Yeah, he won't be there. I think he's up in Seattle being crazy. But I hate to throw anyone under the bus, but Danny Goldberg can go fuck himself too from Air America.
There's a lot of people I want to tell them fuck themselves.
Let's get the list out. I'm a very sober guy, but there's a few people I can't fucking let go of. No, I do the Comedy Works in Denver.
Yeah,
I'll do
great. Wendy's amazing.
I like the where else have I gone? Oh, I'll go do Acme for Lewis anytime, but I'll do Comedy on State in Madison.
Lewis would never have me in his club. He hated me.
Oh, yeah, he 12 years, dude. 12 years he had kicked me out for partying with a fucking waitress, I think. 12 years I was out, and then like one year I was up in Montreal, and he came back. He apologized, groveled on.
I wish he would apologize to me and just say, "Hey, man, I was wrong about you."
That's what he did to me.
Yeah, that guy he was actually a little outright rude to me because I was doing the Jameson Comedy Store, and he went back and talked to everyone in the room about how great they were and how he had them in the club, and then looked at me and just walked out. And I went,
"Wow,
yeah." But I can understand. I can understand guys with a highbrow sense of comedy looking at me going, like, "I don't get it."
Dude, my favorite comics to watch are guys like you. To be honest with you.
Oh, thank you.
And you.
I took the compliment before you even gave it. I was like, I'll take it.
Like, no, I like dudes that do straight fucking comedy, like that are all in, physical. Like, I'm always envious of dudes who do physical comedy who are good at it.
I'm envious. I wish I could be more physical on stage.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because I feel like when I started, I respected guys like yourself, Mitch Hedberg, Dave Attell, guys who were very cerebral and very intelligent guys. I was not that guy when I started. I was very physical, very like, let's not worry about writing jokes first. Let's worry about getting laughs.
But your whole body's funny. You're like, but that's a rare gift. Like I can watch Kevin James do an hour just because it's like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah. But I tried to distance myself from anything physical when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I think it handicapped me by trying to write jokes. And then now, even though people think I'm a physical comic, there are parts that I'm embarrassed about doing on stage because I didn't lean into it enough. Like say a Chicken when I was younger.
Yeah.
He was very fucking physical.
Chicken?
I would love if you could do a posthumous
podcast with Chicken
about Chicken.
I don't remember seeing that guy.
Can I say the other thing I would want you to do?
What?
I would want you to double up on on people you've already had in your podcast that are comics.
Oh yeah.
I would still love to hear like another one with stand up, another one with Dane, another one with I think
there's people that's worth considering because there's so many people that I interviewed before they got famous. Like they're like these Segura, are like time capsules.
Segura, you're in Segura. Segura wasn't anyone then.
Yeah.
And that was a fucking fascinating. I would like to also see. I would love to hear a podcast with Laura Keitlinger.
Have I never done that?
I don't think so. But the other thing that's frustrating about you is that I can't go back and find the old ones. They're in your catalog. And I guess that's because of your RSS feed.
No, you got to get Stitcher Premium.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh.
The entire back catalog is there.
Oh, I know what I'll be doing on my flight tonight.
It's all there. on Stitcher Premium. We made a deal with that's the deal. The most recent 50 you can always get, but the entire back catalog's at Stitcher.
Really? How much is the premium?
I don't know. Can't be that much.
Yeah, we can figure it out. So what's the goal? Like, do you have?
Isn't it to
do you have
stop?
something?
Don't we get to stop?
Is that the goal? I just said that today. I was like, when? Because I'm in the hard press that you're in, leading. I'm like a week out behind you, and I'm in the hard press, just trying to, fucking, and I'm like, this
make some money
stop.
On the hour before you drop the special.
Yeah, do as much as I can, and then my tour goes on, and I write new material. It's like I'm in the hard press. I go, when does this end?
Yeah.
And my wife's like, never. I think you're doing this forever until you die.
Oof.
And I was like, fuck. But do you want to make your own movie? Do you want to direct a movie?
I did Kitelinger.
You did?
Yeah. Episode 166.
Yeah, we should get back to that.
Wow.
What episode are you on right now? 1,000?
I don't know. Hold on.
Would you have Trump on if you wanted to come on?
Yeah. 1,100. I'm on Trump. Oh no, 1,100.
It's been 1,000.
Huh? You're 1,000?
No, I said it's been 1,000 since Laura Keitlinger.
Yeah.
I would love to listen. I'm gonna go find that one. I have a subtle obsession with Laura Keitlinger.
Yeah, no, she's great. I started with her.
Yeah,
kind of. So,
would you like to direct a movie? Would you like to star in your own movie?
I'm gonna write a movie with Lynn. We've been working on a movie with Lynn Shelton, the woman who directed my last 2 specials and directed Sort of Trust, and who I'm seeing currently. Who's my girlfriend.
Congratulations.
So we've been writing this movie for years, and it's almost done. We're probably going to make that movie. And I don't know, man. You know, I got one more season of Glow that we're going to shoot.
Congrats.
Starting in a week or so.
What is that? How many seasons is that?
4. It's the 4th and final. Which is
I heard you say that the other day.
And I'm sort of open to see, like, I feel like I would like to do something where, like, I don't have to be, you know, I in order for me to make money, I've got to be there. Then there's plenty of people that make money and they don't have to be there.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to figure that one out.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind not being there. I love your statements. I love your statements. I said one time, I won't say the person's name because they're a really good friend of mine, but I said one time, this person had blown up and was blowing up.
Yeah.
And I said to you, Mark, this person didn't know who I was. And you went, well, did you know who they were a month ago? And I said, well, no. And you go, sometimes the river floats both ways, doesn't it?
I said that.
Yeah. And I went, oh, fuck, Mark. I just wanted you to tell me he was an asshole. I want to make money when I'm not there also. That's my goal. That might be my new mantra. I want to make money when I'm not there.
Well, yeah,
that's fucking brilliant.
Those people, the people that know how to do that, that's what's their goal, was to make money. You know, like,
yeah.
It's weird, like, you know, because, you know, starting podcast networks and, you know, selling them, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I it's all very immediate to me. Like, obviously, we make some money from Sound Exchange and that kind of shit. We sell some merch or whatever.
Yeah.
But there are dudes that produce a thing. My name's on it. There you go. Go make some money with my name.
I wouldn't mind that.
Right? Just a little.
I wouldn't mind that at all.
All right. Well, let's figure it out. Let me go.
Hey.
I'm going to go. I think something's smoking in my Traeger.
Oh, shit. Thank you for doing this, Mark. I appreciate it. Congrats on the special.
Thank you so much. It's March 10th. It drops. Yours is
17th, week after.
Exciting.
Hey, can I tell you? I'll tell you off air.
Can I tell you one thing that we shot it here? Like, it's got a whole different look to it. Very intimate.
Really? Where did you shoot it?
I shot it at like the Red Cat Theater, downtown LA.
Really?
It's like a black box theater that we, you know, so it's got that kind of almost like theatrical vibe.
Nice.
You know, like kind of Spalding Grayish kind of trip.
How many people in the audience?
Couple hundred.
Ooh, I like that already.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
What's the name of it?
My special?
Yeah.
End Times Fun.
Fuck yeah. Well, congratulations.
Thanks,
buddy.
buddy. Thanks for having me.